welcome to Impact 2025, our continuing conversation where we talk about all different types of topics, race, religion, current events, whatever's going on in the world today. And so, as always, we want to remind people that you can be a part of the conversation. You can type your comments and your questions into the comment section. Feel free to be a part of the conversation. So, if you got something that you want to say, if you agree with what's going on, if you don't agree with what's going on, feel free to type it in. You don't want to just listen to me. You want to continue the conversation. So, again, feel free. And if you're on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to type into the comment section. All right, as always, before we get started, I'd like to remind people of the other offers we have. On Thursdays, we have Thursday Thirst, our weekly Bible study. On Sundays, we have worship service. That's at 10 a.m. Let me go back to that Thursday Thirst. That's at 7 o'clock on Thursdays here on Facebook and YouTube. On Sundays, 10 a.m., Facebook, YouTube, and also in person at the address that's on your screen. And then on Tuesdays, today, we have from 7 to 7:45 a time of prayer. And that's when everybody in the ministry is getting together and praying. And so please feel free to join us for all of those if you can. All right. So today we're just going to hop right into the topic. It's going to be a little different. This is just a conversation. Normally we come on here and we just have I've been talking and doing a whole bunch of talking and stuff. But we're just going to have a little conversation. And the conversation is going to be centered around gambling. And so I don't know how familiar people are with gambling and what's going on in the world of gambling, but in a lot of places, gambling has been legalized. And so there's legalized gambling across the country, whereas back in the day, it was centralized into a couple of locations. You had Nevada, you had New Jersey, where in Atlantic City, Nevada, you had Las Vegas, and you had Reno, and then Delaware for some strange reason. And then some other places where you had Native American reservations, they could gamble. You can go down to different places like Mississippi, you could riverboat gamble, but you had to go into specialized places to gamble. And now gambling is everywhere. And it's gotten into this big thing where you can do it on your phone. They have different apps, MGM apps. You have DraftKings and ESPN Bet. It's hundreds and hundreds of betting sites where you used to have to go across illegal little shady places to bet. But now it's just open and everybody has access to it. And with that, there's been some good and there's been some bad. And so what has happened recently is that they've had some scandals in professional sports. Major League Baseball had some pitchers who were tipping pitches or trying to pitch certain pitches so that people can get prop bets. And that's bets that are based on like what's the next pitch going to be? Is it going to be a strike? Is it going to be a ball? In basketball, there's been three major basketball players who just recently got in trouble with the federal government, the FBI, for betting. Some of them were mixed in with the mob. Some of them were betting as far as on games. And it was a similar thing where it was prop bets, they were saying, well, I'm not going to score 20 points tonight. I'm going to have to score less than 20. And so these guys were either getting themselves out of the game early, saying they had an injury or doing whatever. But now there's been some scandal and people are getting in trouble because of gambling. And gambling has always been that weird issue. Some people believe in it. Some people think it's bad. Some people think it's good. Some people think it's okay. Some people think it's morally reprehensible. And so we're just going to have a quick conversation about that. We're just going to, chat it up. And so I brought Chris on. Chris, how are we doing today?
Magnificent, my boy. Magnificent.
Cool. Well, look, we just going to chat it up, man. But I'm going to start with you. What is your general thoughts about gambling, period, across the board? We're not talking about from any kind of way. You can talk about it however you want it, from moral high ground, whatever. Just your general thoughts. Are you okay with it? Do you think, what do you think?
Gambling is like any other vice. It's like smoking. It's like drinking. It's like, strip clubs. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it as long as you are in control of what you're doing. Like the moment that you lose control of it, that's when, you start to see the problems. And that's why certain people just shouldn't do it. When you sacrifice your family and you start to sacrifice your livelihood and things like that, it's a problem. But if you want to play a lottery ticket every now and then, or you hit the casino, or every now and then you get, you do a few bets on a game. I don't see the issue. Now, me particularly, I don't. It's not something that I do, but that's just not my thing. I like to keep my money for something that I can actually benefit from. I don't like to risk my hard-earned wages on a hunch. So that's where I'm at with mine. I think it's up to whoever. It's a personal decision. Of course there are consequences that can be extreme, but you know, it's just like any other vice that, people had to deal with. You had to be able to manage and control yourself. It's just like any other vice that, people had to deal with. You had to be able to manage and control yourself. Just like any other vice.
All right, sorry, I got a little lag on there. You know, they had the back when we were young. They had the bingo hall, and everybody would that's just regular old gambling.
That was my grandma's journey too.
Yeah, and so some people they'll be like, all right, well, the church can't gamble, and you shouldn't be gambling because of this and because of that. But we've been doing it for so long. But I think that just the access now kind of changed the game a little bit. It's different when you got to break your neck to go gamble. You know what I mean? Like it's different when you gotta meet a guy in a shady alley. You gotta have cash. It's a little bit more difficult, I'll say, to get in trouble. A lot of get addicted and get a lot of trouble. You still can. A lot of people did, and you ain't got a bit in trouble and everything like that. But I think now the access is the problem. Like it's just so easy. Like anybody can do it. Because the only gambling I don't know how it was when we were young for you, but for me, the only two times you would see people gambling, well, three times you would see people gambling. Like I said, the bingo hall. You see people gambling if they went on one of those bus trips. You got the aunt or the uncle who would go on those bus trips and they would go to the
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they were casinos or what, but they would go somewhere and gamble. Or the other one was March Madness, when we would all fill out brackets. But outside of that, it wasn't like, all right, people are like gambling. And so I think the access is
to
the
roll
problem.
dice. I mean, we used
What
to
do you
gamble
think?
playing cards. I mean, we used to roll dice. We used to gamble playing cards. It was a lot of different things that we had to, if we wanted to gamble, but I think now the problem is more that there's a real deal social issue where they want to keep people dependent.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, and it's not just the gambling. I mean, gambling is just the most recent one, but it's now there's just so many different social factors and so many people so many businesses that are now creating profit margins from keeping people dependent, and
Right. Yeah. And I think it's like it's a losing proposition every time. Like, as they say, it's a reason that the hotels in Las Vegas look so nice. Or if you go to, if you're going out of the country, you go to Macau, it's a reason that they can have such nice places because, 99% of the people, y'all gonna lose.
just giving them money.
Right.
But not for free. Like I'm just giving you the money. Like we're on the idea that I might hit big.
Mm-hmm. Now, but let me ask you about the sports side. Let's go back to that. Is it a trap for these young guys? Whether it doesn't black, white, young, old. Is it a trap for these guys, especially the ones that come from, you don't come from a background of money, and they put you out here, you get all this money, but then you got the mob that's coming to you, and they saying, look, you better take this dive and get this extra money, or you want to help all your boys out. and you say everybody, and again, this is the problem that's been happening. You call up all your boys and you say, look, I'm hurt. I'm gonna play for like 5 minutes and then I'm coming out the game. So y'all can bet that I'm not gonna make the 20 points a night, 50 points a night, and all y'all can get, y'all can make money. It ain't got nothing to do with me per se, other than the fact that I'm telling y'all that I'm not gonna play tonight. And so all your friends go out, they can make $10,000 in one night, $5,000, depending on how much money they're gonna do. The pressure of I'm gonna take care of all my boys.
I had that.
Right. Right. But that's the trap though. When you sitting here, you got these guys that didn't come from money, they got a bunch of friends and family that didn't come from money, and it's an opportunity to help them out without having to do what people did back in the day, which is I got to actually take some of my money and give it to you. I ain't got to do that. I can just give you some information and now you can come up. And that's illegal. But I feel like it's a trap because how you gonna stop kids from doing that?
You can't. But I think the trick is that they've always been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because it's such a public thing and it's more acceptable, now you're gonna see more of these scandals. I mean, the Pete Rose, I don't know if you remember the Pete Rose one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the biggest gambling scandal. I mean, biggest gambling scandal.
Yeah.
In the 80s. But it wasn't something that was prime time. I mean, it was prime time, but it wasn't something that was,
right,
something that we were associated with, and we didn't really know the gambling was that deep,
right?
Until that happened. But now, I mean, they got gambling ads on TV, they got gambling ads on social media. Anything that you really look at, there's some kind of gambling ad. So gambling is far more prevalent, and so you're going to see a lot more of these big name stars get hit. Like Chauncey Billups got hit. I was like, Chauncey Billups?
Right. Yeah.
I was like, Chauncey Billups was like one of those classy guys. I mean, he played on a rough team, but I always saw him as like the,
right.
That kind of a classy, moral, high standing guy.
Right.
And so he got caught up in the scandal, and just hearing some of these other cats, I'm like, man, and then you just got to be careful, man. And money's something different, man. Like, it'll change. It'll make good people do things that, will destroy their, whole livelihood.
Mm-hmm. You're right, man. No, I mean, we are a gambling culture. It's just been like that. I mean, at the end of the day, I participate a lot in the stock market. For a lot of that, it's gambling.
That is gambling.
Right.
It is.
I'm not a lottery guy, except for when it hits like $1 billion. Every once in a while I will buy a ticket, maybe once a year, twice.
You're least likely to hit like that. That's when you're least likely to hit.
Right, exactly. But they build it into the culture, like it's a gambling culture. The crazy part of it is it's built so much into the culture. You in the education space in Chicago, and I think in some other places, they got a lottery for who can get to go to the good schools. A gambling culture, like it's crazy that's what we are. And so when people get caught up in it and everything like that, I mean, it's built in our DNA now. We do that.
I didn't even think about it like that. That's a deep point. Like, yeah, like there's a lottery to see who can go to the more elite schools. There's lotteries to see who can play or participate in these particular programs and who have access to social programs. It's crazy. You're right. I didn't even think about it like that. We got a culture let's just bet on it. Let's take a risk. Let's see if we can get it.
Yep, let's roll the dice. Let's gamble. And I mean, you're right. You know what? Now that you actually said it, and I thought about it a little bit. Yeah, we was gambling a lot because pitching pennies. I don't know if you ever did that. You tossing the coins when you were a kid. Whoever get the closest coins to the wall get to keep them. Or we bet on. I remember we bet on pencil fighting.
Pencil fighting, man. Thumb war. Come on. We used to go.
I think we might have lost you, but yeah, to the people who are still here, it's a gamble. We're a gambling culture, I think. But the question then comes to for people out here, for all of us out here, is from a religious standpoint, like where should we be on that? Now I know as if I look at the Bible, it sit back and it says, all right, don't put your faith in games of chance. And many people take that as when they see that. they take that portion of when it says don't put your faith in games of chance as all right, you can't gamble. And then have well, keep your faith in something, that's real like God. I think that it says gambling needs to be put in perspective. That should not be where you put your hope and your faith and your trust in. That should be fun times games. And so I think that's when it gets problematic. If you say, all right, I don't have to work this job because I'm gonna put my faith in the fact that I'm gonna hit the number. Or if you sit back and you say, that's gonna be what's gonna save my life, or I don't have to get insurance, I'm gonna just hit the number. I think that's what the moral problem is. I think that's what the Bible is. As long as you're doing it for fun and games, as long as it's not what your life is based on, I think you're okay. It's no different for me. It's no different than going to like a football game or a basketball game or a baseball game. I'm gonna take that $5, that $10, or even let's go a little higher because Chris, sports are expensive. So let me take this $100 and put it on a bet and then watch the game, or I can take that $100 and actually go to the game. I'm still going to have the same amount of fun, but as long as I keep it in that fun area, I think it's okay. What do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, like you can't put your spirit into whether you win or lose. Like that's that's taking you outside of your reality. Like it should be fun and games. Like that's why I don't have an issue with it. But when it becomes a problem, when it becomes something that you're really like I have to do this, or I got to know this, I got to be here, and it starts to take you away from the thing that God put you on this earth to do, and the people that God has put you in place to serve. That's when it becomes problematic, and I mean, I'm not a gambling guy, but and I think one of the reasons why I'm not a gambling guy is because I don't want to sacrifice the things that I have, the blessings that I have, on something that may, but more than likely will not profit for me, So
and
that's not the one for me.
And it changes you as a person. Like it'll change your demeanor, your attitude.
Gambling heads are just as bad as dope fiends, though.
Right. If somebody loses, you can tell. Man, I will tell you, we used to go to sports bars so we could watch all the games and everything like that. You could tell who was betting and who won. And the guy who was betting looked like this. That's how he watched the game. Regular people watch the game and they might get a little tense. But that gambling person, man, hands on the head, sweat coming down. Like when I see a good play, I'll be like, woo! When they see a good play that's going in their favor in the pockets, they get like it changes who you are. And so the more that you gamble and the deeper that you gamble, it can really change your demeanor. Like you can be mad all day, all week if you lose money. And so I think that's the scary part about it sometimes too, is that, man, you should not be doing anything that's going to change you. It ruins your whole day, your week, your month.
Yeah, man, I mean, but there's some super fans out there that get like that too sometimes. But then it's still like, because I was having a conversation with one of the guys I work with, man, and he's a big 49ers fan.
Yeah.
And man, like he wears his regalia. He's got, hats and hoodies and rubber band bracelets and all like everything you could think of 49ers, he has it. And like he's like super intense about the game. And I'm like, man, I mean, I love the sport of football, but I'm a Chiefs fan, but I'm not going to adorn myself with everything Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really into it that much, and I just realized that there's some people that's part of their identity.
Yeah.
Like to the point where they sell caskets with sports memorabilia, like with sports logos on. Like I don't want to be known when I die as a Super Chiefs fan, That's me. I mean, and I think about it like that, and then I can see how people can just put so much of their faith into a play or a game. Like, okay, I can see because this is going to be the way. This is going to be my way out, and that's the trap, though. Like, this is not your way out, man.
Right.
And
Right. Yeah, and you made a reference to the drugs, like alcohol and drugs earlier, and I think that's the
yeah,
same thing. Like if you have a boring, and not to talk about anybody's life, but you have a boring kind of mundane routine where you don't really got a lot going on in your life. You know what I mean? Sports can be that because you don't have the highs and the lows. You may go to a
mm,
job. It doesn't matter if it's an expensive job where you get a bunch of money or a job where you don't get a bunch of money, but you do the same thing all the time. You see the same people all the time. So the exciting part of your life and the lows and the highs come from your team winning or your team losing. Like that brings the excitement to your life. And so, unfortunately, I think people can get trapped into that. And the bad part about it is, if you were sitting at home and you ain't got nothing going on, you may come to the realization like, hey man, I need to do a little more. Maybe I need to get involved in the organization. I need to meet some more people.
right,
However, if you have your team that you love so much, you don't need none of that because you got your quarterback and you got your favorite basketball player, and then it's like what they talk about with kids in video games where their whole life becomes a video game. Well, your whole life becomes a sport, and now you just a zombie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and then you can't even do nothing. Your friends will be like, "Hey man, let's go hang out." Nah, I gotta watch my team tonight. What? What do you know? What? And
yeah,
so I
man.
do. I think it's addictive, just like a drug. Sometimes I think I think you hit it on that one.
Yeah. And I mean, and I hate to get so deep on it, yo. And really, but this is something I've been pondering lately.
Mm.
Addiction is a a love seeking device, yo. So people that are addicted are seeking love in some way, shape, or form. Like what would make somebody do something that would destroy their life, destroy their family, destroy their future?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and sometimes all you really need is somebody to just listen to you. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to or a hug. And sometimes we look for so many things in our addictions. We
Mm-hmm.
really just need some love.
Yeah. I think you're right. Mostly is
Yeah.
addictions is looking for something, and there's all types of addictions. At the end of the day,
I
anything
know
can be
we
an
talk
addiction.
about gambling, huh?
I know we went
It's
down, but
powerful.
it's all a part of it. It's the
Yeah.
addiction. It's the addiction, man. I don't think gambling helps, but it is
Mm-mm.
just replacing another addiction. Somebody could be addicted to boyfriends and girl, to dating, or somebody could be addicted to their job. Like I've seen people addicted to their job. That's crazy to me. You could be addicted to anything, and it's just you're looking for
Yeah.
something that you're not getting. And you're right; it could just be you just need somebody to listen to you, or you just need a friend, or you just need a hug. Like you need something.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. And yeah, unfortunately, as much and I am a sports guy. Like I like sports. When I leave here tonight, I'm going to probably watch a little bit of college basketball.
Yeah.
And so on at Thanksgiving, one of the things I'm going to enjoy Thanksgiving with the family. But if the game is on, I got an opportunity to look at it. I'm gonna kind of look,
Yeah.
even So I love
Yeah.
sports, but I do think that there is a danger, whether it's the gambling aspect or like you're saying, the addictive aspect. It takes you away from life sometimes, and so I think we all got to be careful. We got to live life, man. We can't get trapped up into anything too much, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I mean, God's got a purpose for all of us, and we get trapped into
Yeah.
trying to waste or spend time trying to satisfy our addictions and not really focused on what God really needs us to do. So
We got a comment here. It says, "What gets me is how people act as if they're on the teams they cheer for. They act as if they are playing. They act as if their presence is important to the actual game."
yeah, I mean, I remember, like I said, I'm a Chiefs fan, right? So, like,
Uh,
when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl last time, me and my wife went to a party afterwards, like the next, the next weekend or whatever. And they were like, "Yeah, man, congratulations, man. Yeah, yeah." I'm like, for what? Like,
Right.
yeah, man, y'all won the Super Bowl. I'm like, man, I won't playing. Like, I mean, thanks though, but like, I won't playing. Like, I ain't get no ring, man. I won't at the parade or nothing, man.
Right. They ain't get no check either.
Oh, like no
Mhm.
airtime. Ain't even no, man. I ain't even have a ticket to the game. Like,
Yeah.
so like, I just know that sometimes people they identify so hard with that, man. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't understand it anymore. I guess at one point I may have been too. I don't, you know, it's
As
just
long, look,
funny to me now.
as long as they keep it in perspective, when they, but you're right. When they be talking about, yeah, we were good, yo, when we did this and we did that, and I'd be like, whoa, what? Wait, it says,
No, my
dogs
boy
were
ran that
great ones.
touchdown back. I'm like, your boy, you don't even know him.
Oh man, that's
You
and
don't
look.
even follow you on Instagram, man. Chill out.
It's hilarious. That's the thing, man. People got to keep it in perspective.
Yeah,
All right. All right. Well, look, we had our time, but before we get out here, since it's Thanksgiving, I'm gonna ask a
that was
Thanksgiving.
fast, yo.
I know, man. It be breezing past. I'm gonna ask you a quick Thanksgiving question because I saw a poll about this and I want to see where you fall in on.
I can with it.
Thanksgiving dessert. What is your? They were talking about which pies and in different places, and they were saying, down in the South, like the South, like Mississippi, Louisiana, pecan pie is the number one thing. And then they were talking about, people of color like sweet potato pie, and then people with a little less color like pumpkin pie. And then they were talking about the American pie is apple pie, even though that's not really famous across the nation. It's just big in the Midwest. What is your favorite Thanksgiving dessert? I want to hear what do you think is the best one out of it?
Traditional Thanksgiving dessert?
Just yours. And forget what if it's traditional or not. If at Thanksgiving, what you want? What is the dessert that you want?
That's crazy because I'm not even really a dessert cat though. But
Yeah. I'll tell you what
I like a good sweet potato pie,
Uh-huh.
but everybody don't make a good sweet potato pie.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That's very
I like
true.
a good sweet potato pie though. I would have to go with the sweet potato.
Sweet potato.
Yeah.
I would tell you actually my number one is actually what your mom makes, which I call apple perfection. But outside of that, if it's not the one that your mom made, then it's a pecan pie, man. If somebody do it and it's not sweet,
Oh yeah.
like I don't want that sweet stuff. Like it got to be just enough sweetness, man. That's my one. So yeah.
Pecan pie hits. The pecan pie hits. But yeah, I don't even really think I've ever had pumpkin pie.
that's yeah. That's
I don't think I had pumpkin seeds though. I don't have pumpkin seeds.
It's because of your culture, man. It's a cultural thing. It's that pumpkin pie. So,
I still don't understand it. I don't understand pumpkin pie. I don't understand the love. But it must some people say it's delicious.
It tastes a whole lot like sweet potato, but good, yeah. But yeah, look, hey man, I wanted to go into that segue because I wonder everybody out here, just wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Make sure that you get with your family. If you can, get with family. That's the time that we appreciate one another. Also, here at the church, anybody that's in the local area, we are having a Thanksgiving dinner here. I know a lot of people can't get with their family and friends, but it's at 3:00 here at the address that's on your screen. Feel free to come by. If you can, it would be great to give us a little call or a little heads up, just so we can make sure we have enough for everybody. But yeah, we're going to have it here. Just, everybody can't get away. And sometimes people just want to get together. And so 3:00, we will be here. Anybody that's in there. So come holler at us. Eat some good turkey and all that other kind of stuff with us. I don't know if we're going to have sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie. I know we didn't have pumpkin. I don't know what the dessert will be, but we will have something here. Outside that, quick reminder again, Thursday, 7 o'clock. We have our weekly Bible study, Thursday, Facebook, YouTube. Sundays, 10 o'clock. We have service, Facebook, YouTube, and in person. And on Tuesdays at 7:45, we have a time of prayer. Please pray with the ministry. Chris, thank you again for coming in. And everybody, thank you all for your comments and joining us. And join us again next week.
Sometimes you'll want